Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight we have...
Caitlin playing Fable Frost, the Ice Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
And Megan, I'm playing Sarai Landir, the Eladrin Knowledge Cleric.
I'm Andrew. I'm playing Grizz, the Dwarven Ranger, and now Monk.
Yeah.
I'm Kez, and I'm playing Treasure Nightcrafter, the Tiefling Barbarian.
Hey y'all, this is Maz. I'm playing Talroth Oakenblade, the Wood Elf Scout.
All right, this is Disasters in Danger. It is our D&D 5e high fantasy campaign, and we are super excited to be here with you guys, and we're going to dive into the action in just a moment, but we do have a couple of quick announcements first. First up, I believe we have our sponsor for this show. It is Norse Foundry. Megan, would you like to tell them about the Norse Foundries?
Yes, I would. So if you go to norsefoundry.com, they have dice, gemstone dice, metal dice, bone dice, stone dice. They also work with Elderwood Academy for some absolutely beautiful dice boxes, dice books, trays, things of that nature. They also do like coins and little metal meeples. They are absolutely for wonderful. If you use our promo code, REPRPG, you get 15% off of your order, which is no small amount when you're talking, you know, some of these gemstone dice. They're so freaking gorgeous. Keep an eye on them because I know Black Friday sales are starting to pop up. So, you know, if you love someone that plays tabletop games, they can always do with more dice. So yeah, go check out our friends at norsefoundry.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, really good stuff. Also, we do want to give our friends here an opportunity to talk about the other awesome stuff that they have going on the internet and around the world. Let's start with Grizz.
Yeah, that's I'm the DM of my own home game, Easy to Spell, because the name's easy to spell and we did it wrong anyway. It's easy to spell with 2 L's. Absolutely check us out. We're on a quick break, so if you head over to our YouTubes, you can catch up on the campaign so far. We'll be back in 2 weeks for a few sessions before our Christmas break. Come hang out. It's a lot of fun. It's Sundays at 6 o'clock p.m. Central that we play. I appreciate you guys for your support of my show.
Always, absolutely. It is a good time, and we love everybody over at Easy to Spell. So, thank you for being here. And I believe we have some Lance Orlando filming information things.
Yep. Lance Orlando has pretty much wrapped filming for what's going to be our filmed show on Patreon. It's going to be like a half an hour to an hour of fights, story, and just overall goodness. Live action combat entertainment. Well, in this case, not live. It will be filmed. Just keep everyone safe during COVID. We also have our t-shirt fundraiser going on. So if you want shirts with like our Lance Orlando crest on it, or that say some fun stuff like /decapitate on them, that is also available. We dropped the link for that in our Discord. So if you're in the Discord server for Rep, you can go ahead and look out for that. And I'll be dropping it again a little later, probably after the show. So in case you step in late, you can still go ahead and tag that.
Awesome. That's very, very cool. Super excited to see that. Do we know the date that comes out? Did I mishear it?
We are probably going to be seeing it on our Patreon around the first weekend of December. They're right now, the editing elves are doing their editing elf things. A
very important job in all of video production. So
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, that's super exciting. We're looking forward to that. Megan, is there anything you would like to talk about?
Nope, just I'm happy to be here.
Okay, sounds good. If you're in the Orlando area and you want some holiday cheer, let us know. We can point you in the appropriate directions. That is what we will say. There it is. Yes.
The fuck pitch did I just come back to?
No, I don't know what all I'm allowed to say about it is all.
Right.
But yeah, if you're in Orlando or if you're looking for something to do for Christmas, come to Gaylord Palms Resort Hotel mecca.
Yeah, it's like its own little Everglade.
Yeah.
But it is. It's not just the Everglades. It's like there's an arboretum in the middle of it that is 3 different realms of Florida.
Every Gaylord is themed around the town or the state that it's in.
Yeah.
So ours is Florida themed, but it conveniently leaves out the meth. So it's definitely kid friendly.
You just have to ask where to find it.
No, it leaves out the meth. And we're turning the convention center into an absolutely wonderful alpine village. There's a candy cane forest. It smells like peppermint. There's Yep. There's meet and greets with Santa. There's a show with Mrs. Claus and her holiday traditions. There's Elf Academy, cookie baking or cookie decorating, story time with the Nutcracker and the Sugar Plum Fairy. And then the pièce de résistance this year is the Elf Escape or something. I can't remember what it is, but it's sort of like an escape interactive room where you're helping Buddy the Elf save Christmas.
That sounds fantastic.
Very cool.
Well, kids, we're downing all the December shows because Caitlin's gonna live there. I'm moving in. I'm gonna get a room. I'm gonna live at the Gaylord Palms for the holidays. Oh my God!
Yeah, it's really wonderful. So if you're looking for something to do and you're in Orlando, I highly recommend it.
Oh my God.
Very, very cool. Speaking of December shows, a little bit of an announcement from us. Our main shows are going on hiatus, so Disasters in Danger will be on hiatus, as will Vampire the Masquerade. Our last shows of the main storylines for those are going to end in November. And then you're like, but Rep, we love you and we want to do stuff. We want to see you do stuff in December. That's a whole month. And I say, yes, I know. So here is what I would like you to do. 1, go follow all of our socials, the Instagram, the Twitter, and join us on the Discord. All of the fun things on the Linktree, the TikToks.
And TikTok. There you go.
Yep.
I was like, don't forget we have one.
That's the one. Yep. That's the one I am most likely going to post things on, and hopefully we'll send it to everybody else. But this is what we are doing for December. Pixie is going to be running some charity streams, some Elf Spectre streams, some holiday-themed games, which are a tremendous amount of fun. But yours truly, because I don't know, I am who I am. I am asking for your help. I would like you guys to reach out to all of the Eternal DMs and GMs all across the Twitch. Everybody that streams their own game, but they never get the chance to play. I will be hosting one-shots exclusively for GMs and DMs as a holiday reward for the games they make all year long. So I'll be doing those on throughout the month of December. So definitely check those out and spread the word. Let them know. All right. I think that's everything. Shall we play some D&D? Let's D some Ds. Here we go. Our adventure takes place in the lands of Lickdracht. They are lands of myth, of legend, and more importantly, they are lands of dragons. Our heroes, the archivists, have made their way to Draconopolis, the mecca of dragon society, its birthplace upon this prime material plane and the shining city upon the hill for all dragon kind. While true dragons still maintain lairs all around the world, there is a societal and spiritual place, this Draconopolis. Recently, our heroes had come here in an effort to find a draconic relic, a piece of the staff of Gyron, the first ruler of Draconopolis, a lawful good defender of scaled and unscaled kind. They did find the piece in the care of one Chance Felice, a silver dragon of ancient age, corpulent proportions, and vast, immeasurable wealth, who actually lived in a cloud castle above Draconopolis. That's how audacious this dragon was. At least he was until he had been replaced by a yet-to-be-named, or yet-to-be-discovered, ancient white worm. Rather than fight the party, rather than attempt to stop them from stealing from this castle of the person he was impersonating, this worm took another tact. Decided to crash the castle down into the city below. Our heroes, utilizing a cubic gate, was able to catch about 2/3 to 3/4 of the entirety of the castle, but very large castle, very large giants, very large dragon. A bunch of it still came crashing into the city below. And the devastation that it has wrought has put a growing tension between a dragon's first movement, and a number of cult-like personalities and organizations and insidious individuals at odds with the city's civilized small folk or medium races that exist here in service to the dragons. It is definitely a city on the edge, a city attempting to rebuild itself, to redefine what it is, and a city in which nefarious individuals are seeing an opportunity to seize power. Now, in the background of all of this, our heroes do still have allegiances to the Black King, an ancient dwarven lord who has recently been resurrected, and attempting to defend his realms from dragonkind, as well as an encroaching, choking sand that is slowly enveloping Sarai's home of the Feywild. So, this is where we will pick up. Talroth, you, when last we left off, you were setting out to find your median human ally, former personal dragon assistant of Chance Felice. His name was, we have settled on Brenton with an R, because if it's your first time joining us here, I make up the names. It's up to my players to write them down. If they don't, I will make up a new name for the person, and they'll have to remember that one too. So, what would you guys like to do? Talroth we'll say he is making his way out. He is still within sight, because we all know that once he disappears, you guys will never find him again. No offense to any of you, but that is true. Yeah, alright, well now he's gone. Now, well, it's over now. But if any of you...
Didn't I cast Mars for tonight? Where the fuck did...
Oh, damn it. Oh, there he is. Alright. But if any of you would like to catch up with him, go with him, or wait around, you are missing two individuals, Brenton and Thosin, who is a party member and Sarai's paramour, for lack of a more specific term.
My boyfriend.
Yeah, there you go. So, my other party members, what do you guys want to do? What you feeling?
Unfortunately, I am sneaky like a freight train in the middle of 4th of July setting off fireworks. So...
I mean, to be fair, a freight train in the middle of fireworks on the 4th of July would blend fairly well because there's a lot of noise already covering it. So maybe,
Fair. But it's probably not a good idea for me to go with Talroth for this one. So instead, I'm going to stick around and basically play lookout. Look if there's any more injured or anybody coming up for help to the cart. Probably help Grizz and Screevers cook up anything that we can just to keep some people fed and, keep a little hope up. It's the best I can think I can do right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and Grizz is doing exactly that. I think he's staying at the food cart, cooking and taking care of refugees, as it were.
Okay.
I'm going to try casting Sending to Thosin again.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me the spellcasting check, the wisdom check, DC 15.
Fuck. 11.
So it is like a static transmission. You know that there is something at the other end picking up the signal, and you even kind of hear the reply, but it's unintelligible.
Okay.
So you do know that he is on this plane, because if he wasn't, it would be something else. Yeah, he is alive, and most likely within the walls of the city, which the dragons, in addition to the force walls that they've put up to keep what the dragons' first people are saying are the small terrorists, the haters of dragons, in, so that they can be found and interrogated. It is also dampening teleportation and communication magic, so that people can't get out, get in. Either way, both. Is that all, Saride?
Yeah. When that doesn't work, she'll anybody that needs healing or bandaging, she'll get on that.
Okay, sounds good. Fable.
Fable is Fable's uncomfortable with a lot of things that are happening right now, and she has found a footing in innocuously singing songs and telling favorite stories of rebellion. She has begun to tell the children of the streets and of the city stories of old heroes who helped overthrow fantasy fascists, because that's how she knows how to help. So that is what she is regaling the refugees with, is Grizz asked her for the spark of rebellion. She fucking she is it. She is literally a spark. And she is happy to do so.
Okay, sounds good. Talroth, we know that we set a time limit for your searching, so I don't want to spend too long or get too nitty-gritty with it. But talk me through your basic attempts.
All right. So the first thing I would have a quick mechanics question about.
Please, yeah.
That ring that Screebers gave to Talroth, would it require attunement?
Yes.
All right. So ditching the deck. So ring, cloak, sword. Cool. That takes care of that.
Okay.
Yeah. First thing I would do, I would already start making my way towards the center of the city.
Okay.
Because hearing what Saride and Treasure said, if they kind of popped up near each other, it would make sense those might have been in that area.
Okay.
And if Brenton is close to that area anyway, just start heading towards there and see who I can pick up first with that ring.
Okay.
Ideally, Thosen first, because if Brenton's hurt, I'd rather walk in with a Band-Aid box.
Yeah. Understood. So you are a little ways outside of the center of town. They were very much near the center. If we're looking at it like pie slices, or maybe a more accurate one would be like a dartboard. Yeah. So as you are heading into the town, you take the time to attune to the ring, I am assuming. It is a nose ring. So if your septum is not pierced, you wear it like the bull nose ring, because it specifically impacts your sense of smell.
It is now.
Yeah.
We just grab a needle and do it. We're like, no, we've got this.
It's the reverse scene from Grease where they get like ice on Sandy's ear to.
Yeah,
so
I went to Parent Trap, but like in the
But she's just it's Fable casting create ice on Talralf's nose.
Just stay numb, stay numb, stay numb. It's fine. You're gonna be fine.
I've got this. I've got this. I've got this.
You've got this, right? You've got this.
I've got it. I've got it. Don't move. Don't
stay
move.
Cold. If he screams in pain, she accidentally freezes his entire head. Ah, sorry. It's fine. Big energy of that scene in Fifth Element where he's just holding the gun. Ruby. Ah! You think he's gonna be okay?
Oh wow. Okay, so so Tauroth, with this attached, you do have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smelling. You can locate a scent that you recognize within a mile, and the closer you get, it sort of narrows you into it, right? You start heading towards the center of town. It is late. Roll me a percentile, please.
$96.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's take a quick look. As you are making your way into the heart of the town, many of the people are settling in for the night. You can tell definitely the buildings that had suffered damage. You can see there are some like tents and bedrolls, some makeshift alleyway domiciles that are being set up. Most of it seems to be going well. There does look to be some predatory, both like young adult dragons and some, I don't want to say like rioter, they're not rioting, but definitely people that are like, oh, now might be a really good time for me to try to like go in this really expensive apartment building and steal stuff. It is still early in the evening though, so this is very much more of a scouting event for these sort of individuals. But these smaller communities, these places where people are coming together, are very much preparing themselves to dissuade that type of opportunistic behavior. As you set forth, it is going to be a long, long walk. It's a very big city. So are you going to try to catch a carriage cab? Are you going to try to catch the last lightning rail towards the heart of the town?
Are you asking if he's gonna catch a ride?
Well, now, yes, I do. I would like to know if you are going to catch a ride.
Whatever's going to be the quickest way to get to the center.
Okay. Yeah. So you can catch a carriage. Lightning rail would probably be faster if it's running. But the last possible way is there are sky carriages as well that will, for premium, take you across districts.
Yeah, and I'm broke, so
Lightning rail is probably the cheapest if you can, if it's up and running.
Let's go for it. Lightning rail it is.
Okay, cool. Just roll me a d20.
That's a 7.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You are catching just the. I need you to make an athletics check. You are going to run for this train. Oh no.
Athletics has never done me well.
I am so sorry.
It's all good. It's fine.
So, Tauroth, you take off running to catch the train, and you are just, it is on the platform. It's just building up speed. You see the last door right there, and there's even hanging off the back that little railed off kind of viewing platform that can hook into more trains. And you see it about to go into the tunnel. You've just got a dead sprint, and you leap, and you are fingertips away. You're gonna take some lightning damage as you fall on essentially the third rail of this lightning rail. So you're gonna take 12 points of lightning damage and hop back up onto the platform. But somebody does see you, and it's a smaller adult dragon who is you hadn't really noticed, but they were kind of there watching people get onto the train. They're a brass dragon, and sort of, ooh, that looked as though it hurt.
Just a little crispy. I'll be fine. Oh.
Must have really wanted to get somewhere desperately.
Yeah, nah, just when everything happened, a friend of mine was stuck in the center of town. Haven't heard back from him. Been trying to get messages out to him, but yeah, nothing. We just can't get a hold of him. So I'm just trying to just make it out there, just see if he's okay. I mean, he's a healer and all, so he should be fine. But I just need to find him.
No, I understand. Center of town, you said.
That's the last I saw where he was or heard where he was. I'm just kind of hoping to get there and see if I can pick up a scent somewhere.
Well, I have to pass through the center of town. I'll be heading a little more on the northern side. But, I could give you a lift if you are so inclined.
That would be so greatly appreciated, and I could even do you one small favor. You don't even have to stop. I can just jump off and land.
Well, I'll be impressed to see that. Hopefully this is going to be better than your last jumping attempt.
It should be. It should be.
Well,
somewhere back at the rebel camp, Fable is telling everyone how after all this is over, not that we'll need it now, but like being in this sort of city, reminding me, I should train all of you on some trapeze safety sort of practices. We've been climbing a lot of things. You won't need it now, but someone remind me once we've settled down a little.
Our trapeze is good with hooves and just treasure holds on her foot.
And she just starts to spin this story about a Loxodon trapeze artist they used to have. If that beautiful bastard could do the things he did in midair, I think you'll be fine.
So as you travel with the brass dragon, he is a talkative soul. He wants to know where you've been, where you're coming, where you're going. He's got the whole Cotton Eye Joe of questions set up for you.
I mean, as I'm still kind of looking out, just on the bottom of the city, yeah, I'd be chatting him up. Just from out of town. Literally just got here like a couple hours before everything went down. My friend was already further in the city. Yeah, just avoiding talking about being from way far east. But okay. Yeah, just happened to come into town. All this happened, and now it's just the mad dash to try to find my friend.
Absolutely.
So I'm not actually lying to him.
Sure.
So, because I know I can't lie worth a shit.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, make me a persuasion check, I guess. It's more of a charming, like how good are you at talking?
13.
13. Yeah, it is a wonderful conversation, and it seems like he almost appreciates your willingness to just let him talk, and he'll tear off on one for minutes and bookmark multiple things and then circle back around to them to continue the conversation from there. Talroth, as you're flying over the city and towards the center of it, what is your the nose ring attuned to? What is it searching for? You pick one sense at a time to like track.
All right, I'm starting with that smell of like fire and sweat that I would kind of associate with Thosin.
Absolutely.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Thosin would smell like.
Yeah, fire, sweat, musk. He's got his own smell, like all of us do. Yeah, and you have traveled in wagons in close proximity. You guys are well aware. Awesome. So as you're making your way throughout the town, you get into the center portion of the district, and it's actually about midway through. And he doesn't fly through the ground zero. He sort of he skirts it, right? And so as he's skirting around the side, you catch a hint of it. You catch a hint of that smell, and immediately you instinctively know to turn yourself southwest. He's headed northwest now. He's kind of working in that direction.
What's this dragon's name?
Ah, yes. This is actually my favorite, like, Fizzban. The dragon naming chart is really one of my favorite little things from Fizzban.
It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, roll me 3d20. He's gonna give you the short version of his name. Where dragon lifespan, dragon characters.
4, 6, 9.
Okay, 4, 6, 9. This is going to 4, 6, 9. Sorry, it's a ludicrous moment for me. So, let's see. Ontir Derg X.
Sorry, no, I think my audio cut out for a second. Can you say that again?
Ontir Derg.
Untier Derg
X.
Eeks. Okay. All right. So as soon as I catch whiff of Thosin, it's like, hey, I am terribly sorry to cut this conversation short, but I literally just caught a whiff of my friend and just kind of tapped the nose ring.
Oh.
I'm gonna jump back off southwest, but thank you again so much for your generosity and hospitality.
Oh, absolutely. It has been my absolute pleasure, Talroth. Now, remember what I said about and he just takes whatever, you can pick a topic, and he had expounded upon it tremendously. In fact, go pick a topic for me. Anything you would have just, you think you randomly rolled into with this dude?
Well, I would have definitely mentioned going to Screamer Screamin' Meats for just some very delectable cuisine.
Okay.
So he might have been mentioning something about these braised short ribs that he just fell in love with.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, the next time you guys go cooking, you can have advantage on some sort of check associated with it, as you remember on Tyr's wise words of cooking wisdom.
All right. And I'll just kind of run down his back, jump off, turn with a salute, and start kind of free falling towards where I know Thosin's scent would be.
Absolutely. Yeah, make the acrobatics check to Ezio your way down.
18, but also to not bust my ass on the landing.
Great.
I'm gonna pop a feather fall.
Okay. Nicely done. You make it to the ground safely with aplomb and style. In this district, why don't you go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
14.
14. Okay. I'm gonna say it takes you. Roll me a d4.
Took a second to find the 4. 4.
4. Okay. It's gonna take you the better part of 2 hours. But you do find Thosen. This particular district of the city, he was cast a little further out, not quite as far as you. It is definitely a mercantile district, and has been. It's more on a lockdown than some of the other districts, just because some of the destruction fell here, but it looks like there was more opportunistic looting that followed in the wake of the initial surprise, right? And so there you see more people like at their storefronts. The lights are still on, the glass is still there. You can see people moving in there to make sure that people, don't come in. There are dragon shops here, dragon-sized shops here. There are also civilized humanoid races as well. It's definitely a mix. The contention between the races, scaled versus non, doesn't seem terribly specific here. It's more just looter versus not. And you don't see many people on the street, which actually makes it easier for you to follow Thosen's scent. When you do find him, he is not far from a forging shop, but he is running sort of a makeshift clinic for some of the people that had helped defend this particular forge.
Yeah, I'll just run up, kind of carefully go around, just try to get his attention. Just Thosen.
Yeah, he absolutely sees you, and he'll come over and tell you, he'll talk to you about the sending not working, and some of the magic being dampened here, all sort of things that you're aware of. And he's very relieved. He immediately asks about Saride, very relieved that she is okay.
Yeah, take a couple minutes, just quickly explain what I know about the dampening.
Yeah.
That Saride's okay, Treasure's okay, Sirach's okay, I'm okay. Breton ain't. We gotta go.
Okay. So yeah, he goes with you. There is, at this point, you're definitely going to be late. Getting back. So, are you going to try to spend any more time looking for Brenton at this juncture? It is nearing midnight at this point, I would say.
I would ask Thosen to see if he has sending prepared.
Yes, he does, but it's not working.
Oh, it's just not working, period, for him.
All he's gotten is psychic static.
Okay.
He's gotten it from Saride. He's tried to send to her. He's actually a little low on spells from all of the healing and sanctifying he's been doing. So his vote is to return to the cart, but he will follow you no matter where you want to go.
Can I try to get a bead on how far Breton is?
Okay, make me a perception check with advantage on the nose ring.
Nat 20 for a 31.
Okay. I can go ahead and tell you. So it seems like Brenton landed in a district that is actually in between where Thosen and the rest of the cart was. However, the smell is stale and old. He has since moved on, and from what you can tell, as you're making, because you're kind of traveling through this area anyway, and it starts to catch, and from what you can tell, he's actually ducked into the subterranean travelways and relics and ruins beneath Draconopolis. That's how he is currently traveling.
Damn. All right, so that's definitely gonna take more time to try to figure that out. All right, so it's probably taking a couple minutes to figure that out, and let's just get back to the cart. But as we're going, seeing if I can find any sort of sign or indication about where the shifting market would be on the next day.
Roll me a percentile.
37.
A 37. You ask around different people that you think might have some information for you in that regard, and it seems very much like you don't get a ton of information that is useful. The one solid piece that you do get is that it is going to be on the north side of the town tomorrow. And, yeah, that seems to be the most consistent piece that you pick up.
All right, better than nothing. And as we're heading back, are there any little stalls or shops or like little food vendors that have any sort of like sweets or chocolates or anything?
Yeah, there's one dragonborn cart. It's these two sisters that are sort of pushing it along, and they do mostly like puff pastries, croissant pastries with fruit fillings.
Yeah, I'll just kind of quickly pick up a couple of those.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You get some dragon claws, and maybe Loxodon's ear. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of carefully wrap those up.
You can get the little halfling's feet if you want. They're like little fruit bites, but the sugar is like long sugar worked, so they look hairy.
Whatever I can get for, kind of seeing everything happening. If this is their livelihood, I'll put like 3 gold down.
Okay. Yeah. And they are extremely grateful. You get a large arrangement, couple of dozen pastry things. Some they struggle to get some of the sugar work in there without breaking it. Usually people get like 1 or 2, but they've got some big boxes. So yeah, you guys make your way back to town. You're back to the cart. You do arrive late, and the group is probably like you pass them on the way, or they're saddling up to go try to find you. But yeah, you make it back with Thosen.
Sorry it took so long. Just that city, that was big. That place was big.
Treasure was already half saddled up with one of the horses and trying to tell Screever she'd be right back, and
I'm holding up the box of treats.
She's got like the stopwatch. She's like ready to fucking with 2 minutes to spare. Fable, I would like to say, has placed a bet on whether or not he would be back on time with someone in the group. She lost, by the way. She did not think he would. So she owes somebody money
Honestly,
now.
it
Don't
was
know
gonna
who.
be it was gonna be Grizz, but Grizz wouldn't take that bet that he'd get back on time. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, who was stupid enough to think that he would? All of us just lost money. Like,
there's that kind of long discussion where you're like, who wants to bet if he makes it back on time? And everybody was thrown in the pot, and then you're like, yeah, because I don't think he will, and everybody took their money back out of the pot. You had to bet in the other way. So
are you kidding me?
Back.
I'm only stupid with my life, not my money.
That's a mood.
I'd hop up onto the horse, just kind of behind Treasure, and just put the box in front of her.
Oh, thank God you're back.
Yeah, took a little longer than I thought, but I found them. Well, I found Thosen at least.
Oh,
Brenton went underground. That would have been too long to try to find him, but I'm tired.
she takes up the box of treats. She looks up at Talroth. Let's just get in the wagon, sleep. Thank you. And thank you for bringing Thosen back. And she's gonna appear in the cart's ride.
She already grabbed him. Oh no,
Oh, okay.
that's been taken care of.
Yeah, they're gone.
No.
Treasure turns around. Oh, damn.
So
Did you happen to teach
turns
Thosen
it-
how to
there's just-
disappear too?
No, there's just a brassiere flying out. Oh, fuck.
Okay, let's not sleep in the
Thank
cart. The stars are nice. The stars are nice. We can do outside. The stars are good.
Yeah, why don't we just pop up to the top of the building? Might be a little cleaner up there anyway.
Did you see around here? I don't know what's clean, what's not clean. I guess as long as it's not blood, we're good.
Even
They're
if
not
it's you can
fucking-
still sleep.
No.
They're
She's
not
like-
fucking. She's exhausted. So like the minute he shows up, she's like, huh.
That's just her giant orcish body pillow right now.
Oh my god. Listen, if we could please make a Thosen, what are the Japanese body pillows? I feel like we could make a killing with some of the art we have of Thosen, just as fuck, why didn't we do that in time for Hallmat? MegaCon next year, y'all, it's coming.
Just saying. I have a
Big
birthday in
beefy orc
March,
boy.
so
Yeah.
Just get your beefling body pillow right here.
Yes. Oh my god. Hey guys in chat, let us know if you'd buy a beefling, which is a beefy tiefling body pillow from us. We have so much art. We are ready to go. Yes, Andrew. Megan. I mean, from not our team. But you know what? You two know what you're about. I respect it.
my money no
So,
good
yeah.
here? What the hell? Come on, man.
But Treasure just kind of happily heads up, towards just a nicer kind of under the stars area, because it's also just a good area to kind of decompress. And
I'm gonna hand Screeber's back his nose ring,
Okay.
get the swords back, and just said I'll be back. And then follow Treasure up to just chill up there.
Okay. Absolutely. It has been a long, exhausting day for everyone. You guys have spent so much time helping people in very tangible and direct ways. And it is hard for sleep to come. The city has attention. It is filled with little oddities of noise. Sometimes you think you hear something in the distance, or maybe it's a little closer. But eventually, each of you is able to get a full night's rest. But your day is going to start a little later than perhaps it would on a normal adventuring or traveling day. It's almost midday. It's probably about 11 when you guys are fully up and running. Now, you've been up probably for a couple of hours, but there is the breakfast. You hate to call it a rush because it's not exactly, not all the food is paid for, and there's still a lot of help that needs to be done. But things quiet down, and they are, at this point, in hand enough that you feel comfortable preparing to leave. If you stick around too long, though, you're going to get caught in the lunch rush, and then it'll be dinner before long, and the day will have gone. So what would you guys like to do today?
First, like during breakfast, when Grizz cooks breakfast for the party, I'm going to use my cook's treats, give them to Treasure, Beg, Talroth, and Fable. Those are the ones that give you 4 temporary hit points. Yeah, just want to make sure that's noted.
Absolutely. Yeah, sounds good.
So do we actually know officially where this place is? Or is there still some, are there people we need to try to get in touch with? Is there a password to get in? Do we know? There's a lot of chaos going on in the city right now, and the less attention we can draw to ourselves, the better. And that means not causing a scene, trying and failing to get in somewhere and meet Brenton. And I'd say the faster we can deal with all of this under the radar, whatever the fuck a radar is, the better.
Yeah, all I was able to find out was it just kind of shows up here and there. But today it's going to be in the northern part of the city. That's about all I was able to find out. But probably once we get around there, we might find some kind of signs or somebody who might know where to go.
I know that there's a damper, but I'm gonna cast Locate Creature anyway.
Okay.
On Brenton, because maybe I can get something off of him.
Okay, roll me a percentile.
I has a question.
Yes.
I know that the black markets would work different here than they would in Jalen, but would my experience in Jalen, especially because I can only assume my family worked a lot with the black markets.
I mean, it's all black market. Jalen only exists in the shadow of a valley, so yeah.
With that said, would I know what to look for when trying to find a black market?
Yeah, I think, first of all, the group has some experience finding them in other cities and places throughout Lichtrocht. And your experience in Jalen, I think, would also provide you some insights on that. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if it'll help. From my failed merchant supply chain feature, I can call upon my connections with wholesalers, suppliers, and other merchants and entrepreneurs when looking for items or information, if that helps us track down the location at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think all of these are very good ins to finding that information. What were you rolling?
89.
89. Okay. He's not within 1,000 feet. He has not been within 1,000 feet within days. And I believe that is the range.
Yeah, it's concentration up for an hour.
That's fine. Yeah. I will let you use it to provide advantage to some of your team members here. So with that background information, Fable, is there anything you would like to do in specific to assist? Okay, not a big. Thank you. Here are the checks I think we can make. One of them needs to be either persuasion or intimidation. You're having to talk to people to get the information, right? I think investigation is another one. Investigation, maybe history, is one. Okay, and then on the, I think for the third one, I'm actually gonna say, yeah, nature or arcana.
Take the investigation one. Probably my best.
I'll take Arcana. Ooh.
Okay.
I could try nature. Oh no, wait, that it was nature or arcana. Sorry, I misheard.
Yeah. So somebody needs to do the social one.
That was about to
Cool.
suggest. You said it was either persuasion or
Intimidation.
Yeah.
intimidation. Yeah, great. They're the exact same, weirdly. I kind of love the idea of being intimidating as Fable, but I'd have to be on fire to be that.
So before you guys roll, so if those three are doing the rolls, Tauroth and Treasure, who would you like to give advantage to? Who would you like to assist?
I'm pretty spooky, so I'll assist Fable in being intimidating.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna intimidate. We're gonna fucking intimidate. Fable is now hit a place where she's not okay with anything that's happening, and we need to fucking go. So I don't have time to play nice anymore. We're done. We're done. Okay?
I will be Fable's cheerleader.
I will help Grizz out, especially since I have Thieves' Cant. Maybe they're saying something that I could just kind of catch some hidden meaning to help him out with.
Okay.
Why are the dice so slow on this thing right now?
Oh, I didn't update the overlay to be back on disasters.
It's fine. I'm gonna roll my real dice because that was the slowest roll of all time. I don't have the patience for that shit. It was better than this though. So 18 for intimidation for Fable.
Okay.
23 for investigation for Grizz.
Okay.
24 Arcana.
Nice.
Okay. Sounds good. So, a wide range of successes. You guys are working together. It's going to take you most of the afternoon. You're traveling around. You're heading into the heart of the city. You're finding people to talk to intimidate, as it were. You guys are on this sort of journey of shaking people down and parsing out the information that they give to you. And what you come to discover is that okay, got it. So the shifting market isn't just a market. It's like the same market, but from different places. And that's sort of the odd bit that you begin to kind of mull about. That's the I apologize. That should have been terrified. So the shifting market's not like a market. It's, it's the same market. It just sort of is from different places, man. I don't know what to tell you. The Arcana check from the ever-intelligent Saride, blessed with guidance of knowledge. And it's actually partly that and partly in the pamphlets of the Dragon First movement. No, not in there, actually. We'll get to that eventually. The market it shifts because it's on different prime material planes, and it comes coterminous with this one at different points in the city, because there is such a concentration of draconic energy here, draconic life, as it were. there is a large energy that flows through the city, sort of unchecked or I shouldn't say unchecked, sort of funneled with the sense of urgency that only a dragon could not have. And so you guys begin to travel and search through the northern districts and begin to look through the telltale signs of these sort of planar events. And part of you has the fear that perhaps the wards that have been brought up that dampen the magic is going to prevent or disrupt the dragons that the dragons have put up, the dragons shifting market. But you work through it. You know that at around midnight tonight, across the Bottomoon's Trench, there is a tunnel that is used for flooding waters at certain seasons. There is a small river that runs through here when it's in the rainy season. And down that tunnel, if you can shift through the plains, you will find the shifting market. Bottomoon's district, the district in which Bottomoon's Trench exists, is primarily a district of medium folk and young dragons. You can tell by the dragons that you see around here, they are not dragons from wealthy lineages. This is very much a working class district. It is the district of civil engineers for this city. They are the plumbers and architects and builders. Even if they are utilizing vast magics such as create or manifest or any of those things, this is where the not artisans for like purchasing goods, but the city workers and planners live. But there's a bit of local charm to it, for sure. And they are perhaps the most tight-knit community that you've seen so far. They definitely pull together and are used to enduring hardships under the thumbs of a variety of draconic masters. It is dinner time. You guys can hang out here. You can head back to the cart to prepare. What would you guys like to do?
This was like on the far side of town, so to get here we would have walked what, an hour?
Oh, you've taken the train to get from where you've taken the train and probably 2 stagecoaches.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you because you're traveling with those faster means, you can get back in an hour, but you've spent most of the afternoon getting this information, figuring out where to go, talking to people, all of that sort of stuff.
I suppose, again, as we strive to not draw attention to ourselves, if everyone else is sort of going to dinner, let's go hit a tavern or something and blend.
So it's fine. I will say, because we're not trying to draw attention to ourselves, I did leave Benedict back at the cart with Screebers.
Wise. Yeah, that group over there who thinks they're being really sneaky. Giant fucking badger on a leash. Like.
But I agree, probably hitting up a tavern, and not only that, people with a lot of drinks on their lips also have loose lips. So we might be able to hear something.
Okay.
So, to tavern it is.
The tavern to lurk and blend and spy.
And drink.
That too.
Okay. Let's see if we can find you guys a tavern.
Preferably a tavern that seems to be welcoming small folk. Like, I don't want us to be like, we're gonna blend and walk accidentally into the Heart of the Dragon First movement and be like, we're the only non-dragons in here. What the fuck, my dude? Like, let's at least watch and make sure, like, some other races are walking in the door before we go in.
Nothing
please.
will solidify your reputation more than out drinking a dragon in a drinking contest.
That is also true, but let's do it when we're surrounded by other witnesses.
Yeah.
Just like as a
Please.
hope there.
I'm just really hoping that the name is something like Dragons and Flagons or something.
Oh my god, now it is.
I would never presume to name things in someone else's campaign.
You're
just hope,
that is
the,
the
play.
that is the combo meal special. Is the Dragons and Flagons. This one has
Andrew, we have to take you to Cloak and Blaster when you come here in a couple weeks.
That'll be good.
Sorry, you'll love it.
It is a very it is it's just called Mara's, where at least one person knows your name is the tagline.
Thank you.
Yeah, as you make your way in, so it is in the, not quite the heart, it's off the beaten path, but it's definitely a favorite of the locals. And you can see it is busy, mostly medium folk. There are a couple of young adult dragons that are on the roof enjoying some rooftop service, but that's only 2 of them. Whereas you've seen at least a dozen people make their way into Mara's on the ground level. It's a short building, 2 stories, plus the access up there on the roof. As you make your way in, you see Mara, and she is a young elven woman. She has a sort of cheek scar that is a little broader than anything you might instinctively sort of expect. But on it she has you don't know if it's like makeup or illusory magic or what, but she sort of has this bronze series of very small bronze scales that cover the blemish itself, and they have kind of a bronze and green sheen to them. Very much matches the eyeshadow that she has and goes well with sort of her wood elf complexion, and the sort of hints of green ombre undertones in her otherwise black hair. She is definitely hardy for an elf, and you get the feeling she probably was an adventurer, maybe a soldier of some sort. Up behind the bar, you see a variety of fine blades and bows. Most of them elven make, occasionally a few of them with draconic embellishments on them. There is no one to seat you, but there are some tables that are open. There's a corner booth that would be a tight squeeze for all of you, but you could do it, especially if if people were willing to get up and shuffle around every time somebody wanted to stand up. Or there is a large central table that has a breadth of of bench and seats on both sides. That would be a comfortable accommodation to both of you. The people seem to be up and moving. There are 2 other members of the wait staff, but you pretty much put all your orders in at the bar, and it is brought over to you. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to sing to people. I'd like to do the bard thing.
Okay.
She kind of looks at Saride because she's not done a public music performance since the multi-class started and since she was gifted the cittern. She's kind of gonna look at and just, do you think this is the right spot to try it?
Absolutely. You're gonna do great. It's just like the circus. You're fine.
Oh, it's so not like the circus. It's not even like when I used to tell stories at the ice at other taverns. This is very different. She holds the thing. And if there is a spot where maybe there's an opening for music, or if she just pulls a dandelion and just starts playing and toss a coin to your rebels, if that is like just kind of trying to gauge tone and energy of the room.
Okay.
And just sort of try to start something.
Make a performance check.
I realize, as I said, I wanted to blend, that I'm doing the opposite of blending. So I'm going to leave the group before I do this, and I'm going to go sit on the other side of the room.
Okay.
I say whichever, either the corner table or the more open one, whichever one is, I think, closer to her performance is the one Grizz starts to edge towards.
I'm just trying to spread out the group and do find different ways to listen in or talk to people. And so me over here, people can watch me while my group watches the rest of the room. That's the logic there.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck are you? Okay, this is a very hard die to read. It's very cute. It's not great. That's an 11.
Okay.
Fuck.
Make an insight check.
Oh, good. I'm gonna roll a different die. That's so much better. 17.
Okay. You begin to piece together your performance of stirring rebellion and sowing discord. And after about the second verse, there is you start to really piece together. People don't particularly care for what you are singing, and as you're kind of strumming along, hit not like discords, but maybe you miss a fingering or two. One of the patrons at the end of the bar sort of turns in his chair and just very casually puts a hand on the neck of your cittern and stops the strings and sort of leans in, and it's a human man, definitely middle-aged, tan skin, probably from a little further south, is gonna lean into you. Listen, this isn't the place for that. I understand there's a lot of unrest right now, but most of these people owe their lives to dragons. Even more of them owe their jobs and securities to them. So, whatever grudge you've brought, outsider, this isn't the place for it.
No grudge, sir. Just a catchy tune I picked up on the streets. Didn't know it had anything particularly heavy behind it. Like I said, I take requests if there's something better.
Make a deception check.
No, that's side note. That's Caitlin realizing she misspoke when she said toss a coin to your rebel. I was making a joke. I was not planning on playing rebellion songs. I was planning on just fucking playing in the tavern because I was trying not to stand out. But I'm yes-anding my way through this.
I apologize.
So that is now what she played.
That is.
So it's fine.
That is the description of every song you have played in the past few days. So that's
yes,
why.
I know. But here, when we were trying not to stand out, I wasn't planning on going into a tavern and playing a rebel song. I was just planning on playing shit.
Okay.
That's okay. I didn't clarify. That was a. So I'm just. Yeah. 25.
Okay. He looks at you and sort of turn away, and as he does, he just casts back over his shoulder a very simple let it be.
Done. I'd like to play what. Oh, is that not a song, or is he telling me to shut up and go away?
Could be either. You're not 100%.
If I know a song called "Let It Be" by that old traveling troubadour group, the Beatles, I would like to play it.
Sure, go for it.
Great. So, sorry for not clarifying. I just
Yeah.
I wanted my group specifically to know that I'm not stupid enough to walk in and play a rebel song when we're trying to hide.
Sure.
That's very important to me.
Understood.
As the second song starts, Grizz under the table just puts his dagger back into his belt.
22, by the way, for performance for that one.
People sing along with you. They much prefer this song.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. So, you guys order your dragons and flagons. There's also the extra large combo meal, the flagon and wagons.
That's what Grizz gets.
There you go.
Well, now I'm curious.
Yep. They do bring it out in like a little table wagon for theming purposes.
I always choose the kitschiest restaurants.
You just choose the kitschiest GM. That's all that happens. The food's good. The food is very good. Yeah, it is. So it's a lot of mutton and pheasant. Cheese curds are included. They have a soda bread that is served with it, and in-house butter for. There's leeks and greens for vegetables. They serve ales and ciders, all fairly light fare. The mutton is the heaviest thing, but I guess maybe the cheese curds. But it's all very good. It's well cooked, well seasoned, good hearty food for sure. And Fable, you do continue to raise the spirits of the patrons. A few of them definitely linger, maybe have a drink or two more than they perhaps normally would. There's a little bit of a backup at the door, but tables do get turned, and so you guys are having a very pleasant night. There are some stronger varieties of ales, but really each of you are spending half a gold, right? 5 silver in fine food and drinks and things along those lines. If you are interested in trying to talk to anybody or get specific information, you guys are absolutely welcome to. You're also welcome to just pass the night without much incident.
Can I borrow 5 silver? I seem to have left my coin purse back with Benedict.
Abel is going to continue to just play through the evening. Partially, if any one of her companions happens to roll high enough perception, partially to apparently distract herself. and try to focus on something else. But partially to give people the opportunity to, if they want to do some exploring, if they want to talk to people, she is providing a look over here at me instead of over there at them sort of situation. But she's just gonna play. Like, she doesn't need to talk to anybody. She's not trying to listen in. She's not trying to gather information. She is just trying to play.
She'll slide a gold, like 5 gold, over to Grizz.
Okay. Use that to pay his bill and slip the rest. I have 0 gold. I've never recovered from that initial encounter.
You'll never recover from this financially.
I'm in a financial hole, and I can't seem to dig myself out.
You are my financial hole.
Listen, I came here for escapism, not student loans, and now I'm uncomfortable. Like,
she's chosen not to have children for a reason. And then
it's
you
not
show
student
up
loans
with a
because
pet.
I've learned nothing.
No, I was right the first time.
I think during this performance that Grizz is going to make his way to the bar and try to catch the ear of Mara herself.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You do make your way over there, and you've at least somebody's ordered from Mara at least once throughout the course of the evening. But as you find a spot of empty bar, she'll come over and she sort of wipes it down. What are you doing?
The shift. Good.
So,
food is excellent. Sorry.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been picking up bits here and there from a variety of travelers come through. So, you know, when they bring you in to repair an oven up in one of them towers, then you peek at the cookbooks every once in a while.
Right, I'm a bit of a cook myself, so I don't know if you've heard of Screamers Screaming Meats, the recent edition of town. I've been making their way around through town up into...
I absolutely have. There's not many places else that serve both scaled and unscaled foods, and from what I've heard, it's quite the stir. This traveling food truck of yours, spikes and meats and a whirling dervish of feast and famine, as far as I've been, as rumor would tell.
That's we're recovering a bit after the events of the other day. We lost our whirling spikes. Looking to regain some of our stock, and which is what brings us to this side of town. I hear the shifting market. Okay, look around, make sure nobody's nearby. Is a good place to acquire rarer ingredients. I don't suppose you're familiar at all.
I know the shifting market a little bit. I try not to rely too heavily on things that are very specific for it, but when we are coming up on the winter solstice, I do try to make one yearly sojourn into the shifting market and, try to make my way back out. I like to get a couple of... they call them, what is it? The frost mint spices, right? Something so cool, but it still sort of burns the tongue. And it's a very unique flavor that the dragon kind absolutely devour. So, I like to do something sweet for them. But I wouldn't, like I was saying, more than a seasonal or yearly treat. Odds are they get a little thin for the shifting market, that's what we're.
I'm more of a fan of experimental cooking myself, so since the right place. Anything to watch out for? Should we be wary? It's spoken of so infrequently and quietly. Worry that it's dangerous.
It used to be a bit busier, but some dragons sort of, took a particular sort of ownership over the idea of it. Said it could only exist because of dragons, and so only dragons should get to use it. But that's actually not why people don't talk about it very much. I'd say about 4 years back. No, maybe 5. There were a group of young kids. I'd say maybe 90 by Elven standards. You know the type. Just before adulthood, ready to do whatever they want, full of gumption and bravery. And anyway, there's this big stir about them being lost on the crossway. The shifting market always ends up being across some sort of bridge or tunnel or pathway. And there's a feel that you have for it. There's a fuzziness to life, right, as you make your way. And there's a lot of different, what should I say? There's a lot of different theories as to what that is. And one of the reasons the dragons sort of latch on to it is those of them gifted with the dragon sight, the ability to sort of talk to themselves from other places. I don't exactly understand all of it. But they have an easier time making it through, because part of that is they say you're gathering yourself from all these different bits and bobs of the cosmos, and when you get to the market, to make sure you're still you and not somebody else, and make sure that when you come out, you exit the right door. But it's all the same door, right? That's what is odd about it. Anyway, the kids made it in, they never made it out. And, it became this big scare for mothers to hide their babes under their skirts and, warn them of crawling in tunnels and tubes. Of course, around here, everybody crawls in something. That's just life. So that's about it for the shifting market. You see more dragons visit it when it's closer to the center of town. We small folk stick to it on the edges here. Hasn't heard anything terribly out of the ordinary for it. But I would say, if you're of two minds of something, you might just send a friend with a shopping list. That's the most dangerous bit of it.
Okay, so don't interfere really with the group. I appreciate the information. That's all new.
You gonna be making your way there this eve?
That's the plan. Made our way a little too early. Decided to stop by your lovely establishment for a bite and a drink.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Haven't had a proper bard in the tavern in, I don't know, months perhaps. It's been lovely.
One level of a proper bard.
Most people never get a level in bard.
Yeah. Most people don't have a musical instrument proficiency. There you go.
She's a right treat to have along. Let's say. I think we get accustomed to the songs and everything around the fire as we travel. I spread to new faces.
Absolutely. Well, I know how much good song can bolster a weary soldier's arm, so I understand it. Right. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I suppose if you need help, let me know. I mean, it's not nearly winter time for me yet, but it's coming up. I suppose I could make an effort, maybe, and think about it.
Pick you up on that, but we'll try not to bother you unless we feel that we need to. You've been more than enough help already. Here's something I built, and Grizz will slide a whole gold piece over, not just the 5 silver.
No. Much appreciated, thank you.
Be generous what you can. That's what my dad always taught me.
So Ride's like being generous with someone else's money.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get back to my group. Thank you so much, Mara. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Be well.
Turn to the table and just kind of share that information with the group, minus Fable.
Appropriate, because Fable's player didn't hear it because she was in the bathroom. So, like, this is real immersive acting at this point.
Grizz, do me a favor. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 17.
Okay. Sounds good. Is there anything else you guys would like to do with the portion of the evening that you have?
You know, only other thing. Oh.
I'm keeping my ears open for just little snippets of conversation that's happening. If anything interesting is being said, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, make a make perception check. Talroth, what were you up to?
At some point, probably would have kind of looked over a treasure and just kind of motioned to kind of get a table a little further away, just so we could chat for a bit.
Sure. Okay. Go for it, Meg.
Oh, it was a nat 1 for an 8, so I don't know.
You
He's spending my money. And making bullshit comments about, well, one should always be free with one. But fuck, man, come on.
you know that high pitched ringing that happens sometimes when you're walking and like your ears just sort of you get a bit of that, and when you see him spending your money, there are flames.
Kill Bill sirens.
So yeah, Talroth, you and Treasure make your way over to the more private booth as one opens up.
Yeah, just gonna plop down, have the drinks between us. Just, I don't know about you, but I am exhausted.
Yeah, but not much we can do right now. We just kind of gotta hold it together and do what we can.
Yeah, I don't know. I just still feel bad about having to leave Brenton for so long as we did. I mean,
what decision were we gonna possibly make, Talroth, that would have made anything different? You're lucky you're alive.
I know teleportation's kind of weird magic. I mean, we all ended up okay after that, but I'm kind of getting the sense there's something a little more to that one just now.
You are lucky you're alive.
Yeah, I ain't gonna argue on that one. That was that was not pleasant.
No, and every time I see you charge into battle or walk away on your own like that, I still hear it.
Look, I mean to make you worry none. Just last night I knew I could probably just get in, get out, see if I could try to find those in a Breton to someone.
I'm glad you found those in. But last time you thought you could get in and get out too.
You know, with all the stuff that happened that night, I remember you being in there with that big old squid face. I remember Grizz being right there next to me. Just there was a lot going on all at once. I just know at some point everything just kind of stopped. The next thing I know, I'm just kind of watching things. It was it still doesn't make much sense to me, even kind of knowing like what happened.
I'd rather not try to explain it, because every time I look in the mirror, I can still see it. I can still hear it. I can still feel it. Just like every time I see you walk away or charge in, confident that you're going to come back in one piece, even though nobody else might remember, I'll still remember the one time you didn't. It just broke my heart.
I know there ain't no way for me to say sorry or anything like that that's going to make it all better.
It's not about sorry. It's about being careful. It's about weighing those moments. And yes, of all people, I'm probably one of the last people who should say that. But it really is about weighing those moments. I know we joke around with you, but I can tell you, everybody here, me especially, would be really torn up if suddenly you didn't come back.
I mean, all joking aside, yeah, I got nothing to say. I mean, I had like 3 different smart ass quips that were just ready to go, but ain't none of them the right thing to say.
Listen, I care about you a lot. Probably more than I'm willing to currently throw down on the table with a good conscience. But I care about you a lot. And I just want you to know that and think about that before you go running off. I'm not saying you can't go run off, but at least pause before you do.
I at least owe you that much. Well, I know I owe you more than that, but thing is, I know you always got my back. So if I go running off, I know you're going to be right there behind me, making sure whatever's coming up behind me is going to not be there much longer. But yeah, for you, I'll definitely try to be more careful.
That's all I can ask. Because, Taroth, I'm so glad you think of me that way, but I'm not sure I can always catch everything. I'm not perfect. And I do miss sometimes. And I do mess up a lot. The caravan got attacked because of me.
No, the caravan got attacked because some dumbass was coming after you, and he went to the wrong place. The caravan weren't your fault.
Regardless, I just want you to be careful. It hurts seeing you turn around and still sometimes seeing that hole in the back of your head or hearing that whistle. And playing that game of cards and not knowing if we were going to win. And when we lost, not knowing what was going to happen. You ever wondered what I was willing to bet to get you back? My confidence. I was willing to put my confidence on the table and give it away if it meant that you would be okay.
Just gonna kind of absently rub my hand on the back of my head. I ain't gonna try to crack a joke about it. I ain't gonna try to make light of it. Yeah, that whole thing with Cass did not go the way I expected. In fact, I don't know what to expect. I mean, regardless of what happened, if he had tried coming after anyone else, like tried coming after Thosin, after Fable, after you, then yeah, I would have found some damn way to come back from wherever I was to kick Cass square in the teeth. I mean, I still saw everything. Still, even you guys running off over them roofs, trying to chase down Cass's little go-to boy. I still saw all that. Damn impressive jump, by the way. Got to give you that one. But I'm just not used to people doing stuff for me like that. Like willing to.
He's going to grab his face, just hold his cheeks. You're bad at words.
Yes, I know. I'm horrific at words.
All I'm going to say is thank you for the apology. I understand. We love you. We care about you. I love you and care about you. Please be careful.
I will do my best. I'll just kind of headbutt Treasure a little bit.
And she just kind of like wrinkles her nose, gently headbutts him back.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to take a break. We are going to be back in just a couple of minutes. We will see you guys in, about 5-10 minutes. But until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight, we have...
Caitlin playing Fable Frost, the Ice Genasi Phoenix Soul Sorcerer with a level of Bard. Oh my god, did you kill a bug so bad it bled?
No, that's me. This is my blood.
Oh, no.
Why are you bleeding?
No, that's worse.
I'm bleeding my own blood. Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm bleeding. Thanks, right. Hopefully it's not bleeding.
That's, yes, okay.
I'm Andrew. I'm playing Grizz, the Dwarven Beastmaster Ranger, and Kinsai Monk.
Yes.
I'm playing I'm Kez, not playing Kez. I am Kez. I'm playing Treasure Nightcrafter, the Tiefling Barbarian.
Well, I am Mars. I'm playing Tower Blade, the Wood Elf Scout.
Sounds good. So when last we left off, you guys have made your way, you're in Draconopolis, you made your way to Mara's. You learned a bit about the shifting market, and Talroth and Treasure just had a conversation about his recent demise and return. So, ended on an upper. You guys are still in Mara's. You are welcome to call it a night here, or and head to the shifting market. Or if there's anything else you guys want to do, just let me know. Okay, sounds good. Looks like everybody is good to le move. As you guys are gathering up your things to go, you start repacking your bags. You've paid your tabs, and Mara's stayed open a bit later than it probably normally does. These are, again, civics workers, and they have usually work early in the morning. So that happens. The doors are being locked behind you, and you begin to travel down the road. And as you guys are making your way to... I remember. I have the name. Do I have the name? Don't have the name. Dumuraz. You hear the rapid footfalls, hoof-falls of a horse and a cart coming down the road behind you. It is late into the night now. It's 11:30. Most things are closed, and it seems a little out of place. There's definitely no traffic that's happening at this point. What would you guys like to do?
Is the horse is it, busting its ass, or is it just coming?
It is not like sprinting, but it is traveling with a purpose.
Mm.
Get out of the way. Let it go by. Scoot off to the side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I see inside the carriage?
So not really a carriage. It is. Go ahead and make perception checks. If you do not have low light vision or dark vision, it is at disadvantage because it is dark on the road right now.
26.
Okay.
30-20.
Three bits of sticky tape. Tauroth, treasure.
26 for me.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So pretty much everybody but Fable does recognize it's Mara, and she's riding along. She's got a wagon, and she's her head is definitely looking everywhere, like she's trying to find something. And as she starts to ride by, she actually just looks behind her, and in the wagon behind her, it is like a delivery wagon. There, in some pens, looks like there are 2 goats, and that's what you get mutton from, right? Goats? Yeah. 2 goats, and...
Mutton is sheep.
2 sheep, and 3 chickens. And one of them is sort of... like, right, I know, just... Okay, stop it. And she's gonna... Do you wave her down, or she's just gonna keep riding past you?
Call it. Evening, Mara.
Good is. Oh, there you are. I'm so sorry. All right. I'm glad I was able to catch up to you all. Listen, shifting market can be... It's a bit of a... If you've never done it before... The point is, you seem like...
It can be shifty.
Excuse me a moment, I'm reconsidering something.
If you decide to just continue on, I fully understand, Mara.
I appreciate that. No, listen, there are some tricks about the shifting market that, some locals know and don't particularly feel super fond about sharing with non-locals. It's gone bad for us a time or two. But you seem like nice folk, and actually, I like you. So, I brought you, we're just going to say goats, because I like goats better than sheep. I brought you some goats and some chickens. So, up you pop. Everybody grab an animal.
It'll hop up and grab a goat, I suppose.
Right.
I thought the trick to it was just making your way through the portal, as it were.
Right, no, I mean, that is, yeah. No, it's important to do that. And it's important that you not be, super divided on something, at least on the inside. But sometimes things can be, how do you say, a little weird in there. And one of the ways things are starting to fall apart is if your chicken or your goat stops being a chicken or a goat. And if it disappears, you should just run, like, super fast. As fast as you can.
What do you mean it stops being a chicken or a goat? What would it be?
Do you want, like, the simple answer or the, like, fancy?
Simple's fine.
Alright, well, sometimes a goat turns into a ram, or a sheep turns into a goat, or, they could turn into a dog, or anything with kind of 4 legs, really. And if it turns into something with only 2 legs, so then you're edging into disappearing territory there. So you really want to be careful about that. Usually it's just you get something, you keep a hand on it. And because they don't have the consciousness, right? Simple animals, they don't, they can't all be of the same mind because they don't have the zen in them, except for tortoises, right? Or turtles, clumps or flip-flops, either way. They're very serene creatures.
So just out of curiosity, you mentioned if it turns into something with 2 legs,
right?
Then you should be really concerned. Oh, you mean, has a sheep ever turned into, like, an elf?
Oh, no. Sheep's never turned into an elf. Sometimes a sheep will turn into a sheep person, or that's really rare. But if that happens, there's a good chance they're actually just a monstrosity from some sort of wizard tower. And
say, is this how this world gets fawns and satyrs? Because I'm about it.
No, nothing like that. So the complicated answer is this: you, in all of your Yules and echoes across the worlds, as the dragons like to say, all of those echoes or a chunk of them, are going to be walking down this tunnel together, and you're sort of putting your echoes together, and some of you might have brought a different animal, and so if the animal gets confused as to what it's supposed to be, then you're getting confused as to what you're supposed to be. And or if the animal just disappears, then there's a hole and you might fall into it.
So stay close to our goat or chicken.
Yeah, you want to hold the chicken, right? They're a bit flighty. And
Treasure has already like snugged to the chicken.
Yeah, you want to hold the chicken, all right. If you're more familiar with birds, then that's an important one. But the goats, I don't have enough goats for everybody. I'm sorry. But you want to keep a hand on it.
This is a wild magic canary. This is great.
Sarai, do you want to go halvesies on a goat with me?
No, you should have your own goat. Everybody should have their own goat.
Oh, I
chicken.
thought she meant there was not enough left over.
There are two goats.
Fable has made friends with a goat.
Great.
She has made friends with a goat.
Great.
Right. What do we owe you?
Megan and Sarai are both broken.
Well, I tell you what. If you make it, and you make it back, and you can bring me some of these mint spices that I was asking for. And she's got a list. It's got like 3 or 4 words on it. If you bring those back, we'll call it even. And you can sell the chickens or goats or whatever you need to do. You shouldn't need them on the way back, just over there. So, if they make it and you barter them away, that's fine. The spices are worth well more than that. So,
That's it. Take the list and tuck it in my pocket. I thank you again for the warning and the goat. I'm going to call you Paul. Short for Polly, because he could be anything.
That sounds good. last bit of warning. We don't mention the and she gets real quiet, and she really only kind of says it to Grizz. Like she motions for him to come over. Not that she's worried about you guys, but it's just she is this cautious about it. And you don't mention to anyone specifically where you come from. Specifics like that can get you in trouble. But more importantly, you don't say nothing about the prince. You understand me? Right?
Discretion is one of the things we're good at.
Alright. No, you know, just for everybody's sake.
We appreciate that, Mara.
Alright.
And we'll be back with your spices and for another round at your fine establishment tomorrow.
Alright. I'll see you then.
Thank you again. Have a good night. Right. Polly, let's get going. Yeah. And as we start moving, I'll kind of quietly relay that information, just with the same kind of level of discretion that Mara was showing. Mm-hmm. Fill the rest of the party in, just not to talk about where we're from, no specifics, no details, not to mention the Prince of Implied Scales.
Okay. As you guys make your way to the trench, to this deep runoff rainwater sort of funnel, and you find the tunnel. The tunnel is actually not terribly hard to find. It's very big, and there's a small gathering of people that are waiting at the mouth of it. About 200 feet back, there are a couple of merchants. They've brought like pop-up tables, and they have these, as you walk by, they have these odd little trinkets and whistles and whirls and sort of clicks and mechanical little gnomish things. You get the feeling those are attempting to fill in the spot of your chicken and or goat. And these people are selling them. There's about 20 people waiting at the mouth of the tunnel. And the appointed time is drawing near. Are all of you traveling to the shifting market? Okay.
Because I did pass on Mara's warning that it's better to have one person go with the shopping list, I think.
As far as I understand, you've told them all, and everybody is okay with going.
Yep.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Grizz is not going to not see this.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Before we go in, he is going to cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Paul. You warn me if you start feeling funny, and I'll warn you if I do.
Oh, we speak with animals. Yeah, all right. Got it. Uh-huh. All right. That sounds good. I can do that.
Never, ever, 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 ever let us do any adventure without a goat again. I'm so happy right now.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Well, you're a member of the team now. Wait till you meet Benedict.
Oh, that sounds good. I could go for a Benedict right now.
Hey, not an eggs Benedict. This is the giant badger variety.
You notice that he's like eating his leash. He's a goat. He eats literally anything.
Grizzle, like, cut off a piece of his leather belt and be like, chew on that. Last you longer.
What is happening?
Goat's gonna goat, man. I don't know. I know like one thing about a goat. They'll eat anything. That's as far as I got.
Point of order, when I'm using speak with animals and speaking to an animal, am I speaking goat or is the goat just comprehensible to me?
I believe the goat is just I defer to the player with how they want the magic to work, because to me it's the same spell, but it can be cast so many different ways, right? There's probably a druidic version when you are like, yeah, you're just speaking, you're making goat noises.
I think Grizz is making goat noises.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that there are some like elven refined or like high wizard version where you speak normally and the goat understands and reflects that back at you. But
nothing refined about Grizz. We're speaking goat.
Yeah, I to me that's a more interesting way, and it creates the variety in the spells that they achieve the same objective with different sort of means. So, you guys have your animals in hand. The time begins to arrive. Last chance for any preparations.
Since we were able to get Thosen back,
Yes.
and we are heading to the shifting market, would it have been possible to have gotten the current shards of the staff from Thosen?
Yeah.
To see if maybe there's another another shard in the market.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Who is attuned to it?
I'll attune to it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. You guys begin to set out. Stepping first into this tunnel. Who among you has dark vision? Or low light vision? Everyone but Fable.
Fable does know.
Our tattoos. I forgot our tattoos game, but I should not have been at disadvantage for that other roll. But yeah.
Okay, great. So, as you begin to step into the darkness, it starts with the simple sounds of footfalls, the echoes that bounce off of the hollow concrete walls, the hooves of treasure and the goats, the occasional of the chickens, the light murmurs and frantic hushes of the other people. It's a very wide tunnel. Most of you are able to travel into it at the same time. Some odd wide. The darkness seems to get thicker, enveloping you. You feel it before you see it, or don't see it, as it were. You feel it along your arms, then down to your fingertips. It's like wading through the water of a warm bath. The water's no longer hot, nor is it cold. It's that perfect temperature that matches your skin. And you only feel the resistance that slight pressure, that idea that lets you know that there's something more than air here around you. And as you walk, that feeling spreads, almost as though you were wading into a pool. But instead of it going from your feet up, it's from the front back. Fingertips and arms, elbows, shoulders, the tip of your nose. You actually panic for a moment. Can you breathe? Through your nose. But you do. Eventually your mouth. You breathe through your mouth, you can feel it sort of envelop in it. Stretch its way to the back of your throat. As you exhale, there's a pressure there. When it hits your eyes, the darkness that you could see through begins to fade. And then the sounds. The hooves. The clicks. The little twangs of sprockets, of springs, the gentle clucks of the chickens. Does anyone reach out? Okay.
Reaches to the side to...
I'm assuming you all have a hand on your respective animals.
And then we all entered together, right? So I think Grizz kind of puts his hand out and kind of feels to the side for whoever's walking just to the other side of him from the goat.
Say probably would have been, we'll say Treasure. As you reach out, your arm, Treasure was on that side. Saride was on the other side of the goat. You guys were almost elbow to elbow on your way in, but as you stretch out your arm, you don't feel Treasure anywhere. And your hand begins to pins and needles. The blood seems to fall asleep, like it's retracting from your limbs in an instinctual fear of whatever might be out there. I would like you all to roll me a percentile.
$11.
92.
Get Fable.
86.
Thank you, Treasure.
29.
Talroth.
5.
Okay. Talroth, Saride, Fable. The hand, the feeling you have on your animal begins to... You clutch it close. You pet it a little nearer. I would like the three of you to make intelligence saving throws. Or history checks. I will take whichever one has your better modifier.
Oh, history. So I'm going to redo that.
Yeah, I had clicked on the saving throw when you said or whichever has the
that's
better
fine.
modifier.
I'll take the better. Yeah.
28 history.
Okay.
10 history.
Okay.
I'm doing an intelligence saving throw and I'm using luck.
Okay.
15 on my intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Easy check. you all immediately recognize the for Tauroth, the chicken you were holding is a very soft bunny that has is sort of burrowing kind of into your chest as it attempts to kind of hide. Saride, you as you feel the little grabby claws of the ferret attempting to crawl up your shoulder and over your back, you remember this isn't what you brought. Fable, for you, the short hair, small horns of the goat are no longer there. They're replaced with a thick, furred, large, rolling, spiraled horns of a ram. And you kind of mat your fingers in its fur as a moment of fear begins to hit you. I would like all of you to make wisdom saving throws. This is against a fear effect, if that matters. Some people have abilities against fear.
Is that all of us or just the folks that failed?
Just the folks that failed.
Okay.
Say 17.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Also a 12.
Okay. Tyroth, you steel yourself. You take a deep breath and you feel your back, the hairs, the skin sort of ripple into these kind of on edge goose pimples, and it's like electricity washing over you, but you continue to take small, steady steps. Saride, Fable, the animals begin to panic, and in your heart you do too. You start to pick up the pace, hoping to just make it across a little faster. I would like each of you to think about, what is Saride and Fable, what are each of you most conflicted about? Fable?
Oh, she knows. Do I have to talk about it?
I would like you to tell me. So yes, please. I mean, I appreciate the internal game that's happening here, but for the viewers at home, if you wouldn't mind sharing, that, you know.
She is conflicted about and has therefore been avoiding following through with the reason she sought out a school setting in the first place. The research, because the answers that she may find may be worse than she's been willfully ignoring the possibility that home isn't there anymore and that it was her fault and that she could or couldn't do anything to fix it now.
In another world, if you hadn't come on this adventure, if solving that lineage crisis, that feeling of being hunted, had been the most important thing to you, maybe if you were born under a different element, you feel like there was another path at some point. And as you look you begin to see a dawning to your right, and you hesitate to look. Do you want to?
No.
Need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Six. I was gonna use luck, but I'd rather save it for if the party as a whole needs me to have points left. So.
Okay. The light is there, and you sort of wince that right eye, and you turn away, knowing you shouldn't look. But then the heat begins to hit your ice-crackling skin. And you think maybe it's the Phoenix. Maybe it's something from home. Maybe it's someone you know, and so you do. You turn your head and you look. And the flame that is across the body of this near ashen black and white fable with blue licks of inferno-like heat filling in the charred cinders of her skin, her hair a blazing flame, the wings of ethereal fire wrecked from her back, as opposed to the fine, dazzling, and perhaps showman-like clothes of Circus Girl. These leathers are torn, ripped, rapidly repaired and sewn together. The bandolier across her chest stuffed with blades and wands. The belt she wears hangs crystals and books from it. The scars are where the white ash bleed through. It's been a hard life. She looks, and she sees you in the same moment that you see her. And you realize your paths are converging. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
We're gonna use luck for this one, kiddos. Okay. 23.
As your footfalls line up together, the ice and the fire release this high-pitched whistled scream, and it is the first noise that you have heard in the infinity of time that you have spent walking through this tunnel. And as you close your eyes and wish for it all to be over, you realize the high-pitched whistling scream is a slowly escaping shudder from your lips. But you are across. Fable. Well done. Saride, what are you most conflicted about?
Being an arcanist or an archivist.
At what moment in your life do you think you would have chosen not to? Not to go to the Prime Material and leave the Feywild? Not to travel this full journey? To go back with Cole after having reached the forge? At what point does Saride's path diverge from her own?
I think she would have stayed in the forge.
Stayed in the forge. Never gone to Caerdion.
No.
Okay. Do you think... Roll me any die. I'm looking for an even or odd.
Oh, okay. Something like that. I'm gonna do a 20.
Okay.
Ooh, was a nat 20.
Okay. You see, as you feel the cold metal, you don't wear armor, do you? Oh, you do now. Great. Yep, that's what I thought.
Now. Yep.
As you feel the cold metal of the armor that you have adorned in recent months grace your skin, you hear a lilting hum. One that you recognize. It's a soft, gentle tune. You know where it's actually... It's something your mother used to sing. It's a lullaby your mother would sing to you when you were a child. There's a warmth to it. And it stops being omnidirectional. It stops coming from everywhere, and it's just to your left. You recognize the tune, but the voice sounds different. It's not your mother's voice. And then there's this odd discomfort that hits as you realize that's your voice. That's what you sound like when you sing. Do you want to look?
Yeah.
As you turn your head, there is adorned in simple but refined gowns, bereft of jewelry, save a widow's mourning veil. An elegant, deep green dress, saride. Her stomach distended and full. Her hands cradling an unborn memory as she hums gently. She sees you in the same moment that you see her. She looks healthy, happy, sad. Some ways fulfilled, some ways broken. Your paths are steps away from converging. If you want to resist, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. 5.
Okay. You feel the ferret disappear from your hands. And you break out into a sprint. I need you to make me an athletics check or a strength saving throw if either of those is different. Or I'll say
Strength save.
all right, cool.
I don't know how, but yeah.
Proficiency for clerics.
Fuck you. 11.
Okay. Okay. You come. You hear the lullaby get faster as it matches your steps. You begin to breathe heavily. Running is always exhausting, especially under this armor. And with every footfall, the song gets louder, faster, louder, and faster, until you can feel your heart beating out of your chest. And then you take another desperate, ragged breath as you've been forcing in and out this thick blackness, this air of enveloping darkness, this rich void. But the frozen, cold sting of honest-to-God air hits your lungs, and you burst into tears as you hit the ground, happy to be through the tunnel. You look at your sleeves. Beneath your armor, there's a rich green dress. You panic for a moment, you stand up, you start feeling your body. There's no bump. You are okay. You were so close. It almost had you. As best you can tell, there's this dress and a small, oh God, was that a baby bag? Might have been a baby bag. There's a violin in it now, but oh God. There's a wide range. As Tauroth, Treasure, and Grizz, you guys have had a very short trip through a very dark place. And about the same time as you are feeling the air hit you, and your animals that you had brought in comfortably make their way with you. You look to your left and to your right, and Fable is like
in tears.
Yeah, there you go.
She's not fucking okay.
Neither is Saride, I'm guessing. I would like one of you, not those two in particular, anyone, roll me a d20. Okay.
Natural 19.
Okay. Absolutely. As you look around, the exact same time, 19 of the 20 other travelers have stepped out of the darkness. You take a quick count, and you realize there was an old tiefling man, walked with a cane, refined but slow, wounded, definitely in the twilight of his years. He doesn't come out of the darkness. There are a few others crying. Some look visibly different. Some disturbed. One has had that little clockwork trinket replace his hand. It sort of clicks and twists and whirls like gears. There is another person there. Patchwork clothes. None of it matches. All the styles are different. Elven armor over human long johns. Decked with a draconic cloak. Dwarven helm. Halfling reed in his mouth. None of it makes sense. Huh. Well, a couple of first-timers. You did pretty good. Looks like... Oh, just a touch of a few others, huh? Not bad. Huh. Welcome to the shifting market. The doors, the portcullis that directs the water begins to lift. And you hear this busy throng of every marketplace you've ever heard. Fish here. Get your fish. Real live human tears made fresh on site.
At a D&D campaign. It's the freshest.
Absolutely. Lost fates? Peddling lost fates? They're only slightly used. I've got baby boots. Never used baby boots here. How about faux fur jackets? 3 for 1.
We'll snag one of those for Narvi later, but Treasure's going to, like, lean down first of all and try to just kind of, big as she is, scoop up Fable and Saride and just give them hugs if she can.
I feel like both of us, while grateful for the gesture, are freaking the fuck out right now and maybe don't want to be touched or perceived.
She'll let her pick her up, and she's not going to be a dick about it, but
Fable won't let herself be touched right now.
She just and just keeps her arms around her stomach.
Treasure nods. If you need me.
Let's wait here for a moment. Let everyone catch their breaths before we go into the market. I think looks like you two had quite a different experience than the three of us might have.
I'm just gonna hold up my rabbit. I think something happened.
Oh yes, you had a chicken. It's now a rabbit. That's right.
Fable
she looks at her ram and is just, you wish this is the only thing that happened to me.
I'm gonna cast. Oh yes, Miranda. I'm gonna cast locate person for Brenton.
Brenton is in the market. You do feel it. You can begin to travel in that direction.
Okay, I can't remember. Does this give me direction? Direction,
yeah.
But not length.
It's within 1,000 feet. Gives you general
closeness.
Yeah. You can use it to make your way to him. I'm not going to be super particular about it.
No, fair. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. Hoof shoes here. Hoof shoes for your devils. All left feet all the time. Never dance in the moonlight with a shoeless devil.
Let's get to moving. Paul, you doing all right?
Yeah. I mean, that was weird. Didn't taste good.
It tastes like much to me, but glad you're all right. Pat him on the head.
That's good.
So,
Billy. As he looks and realizes the other goat didn't make it.
Just went to a farm up north.
We'll die for Paul.
It's the awkward change of conversation. So, make our way.
Torn umbrellas. 50 for 1.
As we're walking, I'm just going to kind of take a moment, keeping the rabbit in one arm because, I mean, it kind of works now. I like the rabbit.
Cool.
I'm just going to kind of reach into my pack and just put my hand on the shards of the staff and just pop the action to see if I can just detect one here or not.
Roll a percentile.
Five.
No.
All right. Just make sure it's secure. Just kind of go over to Treasure and just kind of whisper over to her. No shard here. So nice and clean.
At least that she's meanwhile petting the chicken that has started nesting in her hair.
Sure.
And she's named it Waffles because chicken and waffles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Crazy, like, human goods stand from Owl House vibes right now. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but just the odd accoutrement.
Yeah, it is quite odd.
But she is curious. I mean, I assume this place stacks up wildly different than anything I've seen in Jalen.
Yes. I mean, it is... Jalen is an odd... is an odd mirror to it. The open markets, the stalls that would set up on the bridges at random times, but they all sold goods, like legitimate goods, even if they were poorly made, noodles or whatever they may have been. They were still things people would sell and buy. Some of this stuff is physical goods. Some of it looks honestly just like trash. And some of it is so metaphysical that it's weird.
Like that guy over there is selling fates. I don't know.
You look at the umbrella vendor and he's literally selling one broken umbrella for the price of 50.
But does he have a line? Do you see have people trying to buy it? Is the question.
There's one. Yeah, there are two people looking at his stall and looking like they're trying to haggle with him and
Yep.
are going to buy one or two.
That's what matters right there. Is the clientele has found him.
Yeah, and so
As a small business owner, I'm insulted because why aren't we selling broken umbrellas, Cody? Like, what the fuck?
You know, I can only dream of the weirdness. I can't not manifest it. I'm so sorry. As you guys are making your way through the shifting market, I would like Grizz, since you have the shopping list of the spices, you can make a investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
For your fine spices and necessaries background thing.
14.
14. Let's see. I'm gonna roll you 2d10. That's 5. You get in the food area that seems slightly segregated, or separated off. Right, and there's like uncooked churros, and we'll eat you a sandwich. But you're having trouble finding the spices in specific. The rest of you are headed towards Brenton, or is there anybody else looking for anything else?
Just looking at anything interesting. I want to see interesting stuff.
Okay.
I'm definitely making my way towards Brenton, but
Okay.
keeping an eye out for different things, and if something catches my eye, just to make a mental note to come back later.
Sure. Treasure, roll me a percentile. You're muted.
93.
93. All right. There's all sorts of weird stuff. Anything that I've said so far, if you want to ask about it, you're welcome to. I will say the one thing that catches your eye is the cone of echoes. 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 And there's one that looks like an amalgamation of like brass and bronze medals that have made, imagine like a steampunk doggy cone. And the person selling it has one. And it's currently laying flat on him like a collar, like a fancy Victorian collar. And you see him. Cone of echoes, echoes, echoes here. Cone of echoes, echoes, echoes. Want to find your echoes, echoes, echoes? I've got the cone for you. Here are the echo cones, echo cones.
This
Last
point,
one here.
At this point, Fable perks up and she'll do a double, and she'll back around.
Okay.
And she hovers near Treasure, who's looking at this, and just... Do you want to go find out what it does?
I kind of do.
Could you go find out what it does?
I can.
I'll be over here.
She's gonna, especially for Fable's intrigue, go in there and check in on this thing.
Okay. You there, young. You there. You look like you have had a cone or two, but never a cone of echoes, echoes, echoes. So, can I get you in one of these cones today? What's it going to take?
Well, what do they do, first of all?
Well, they echo, echo, echo.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. You're driving a hard bargain. You would like a demonstration. That is all right. I have just the thing. Now, what you do is you get your cone of echoes, echoes, echoes right here. And you give it a good pop. And here we are. If you wouldn't mind, for the demonstration purposes, we're just going to use this little ear tuner, right? And he takes another, that weird thing from Lord of the Rings, the like old-timey ear horn to help you hear things. So, I would like you to speak into the cone and say something. What would you ever like to say to yourself? Or a question you would like to ask yourself, or if you ever wondered if things were a little bit different. And ask it into the cone, and then put the ear thing in the ear and the other side up to the cone, and we shall see. Ready? Go for it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. But go ahead. Cody has to hear it, but he's not going to listen.
Yeah. And she's gonna just whisper into the cone, just something simple like cinnamon rolls are my favorite food. See what happens.
Okay. Are cinnamon rolls actually your favorite food?
No, actually her favorite food is baklava.
Okay. Understood. You hold the earpiece up to your ear, and you hear what you just said. Cinnamon rolls are my favorite food. And it echoes, echoes, echoes. And then you begin to hear echoes respond of baklava's my favorite food. No, they're not. Why are you lying? That's so weird. I actually like cinnamon rolls. You have to smash them with a frying pan before you can eat them. That's what makes it worth it.
Well, that's just delightful. She's going to giggle that much more and say, okay, well, how much are they?
Oh, now for a cone of echoes, echoes, echoes. These are in high demand, especially on certain prime material planes. You know, there are those individuals that have taken to the tradition of removing their echoes, 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 so that they become more of the one, and have all of their stations amongst themselves. So you have to understand, this could be both a blessing and a curse. Curse. So, here in the shifting market, we do trade in the eccentric. Now, I could do with... I would say a happy ending. Or I could also use... Oh, I would trade you 3 of my siblings for you to take this cone.
3 of your siblings?
Yes.
What the fuck is this place?
3 of my siblings. You take 3 of my siblings and the cone. And we'll call it even. Or I'll keep my siblings and I will give you... You will give me happy ending. And you will get the cone. Cody has now realized that that is a terrible double entendre and not intended. We are not on Friday nights. I'm happily ever after. Let's go with that. I will take a happily ever after. Or if you had something tremendously rare and magical from your prime material plane, something that was like shaking, because that's really what we're selling here is the So
is it sad that I want us to take his siblings? Like, is it sad that I'm fucking intrigued by that nonsense?
And can I do an insight check on him?
Yeah.
Just on all this craziness?
Yeah, go for it.
13, 14 total.
There is a magic about this place that lying, what you had to go through to get you here, precludes you from openly being deceitful and lying. And it's not even the way a contract with a devil would go. It's that if you try to be of 2 minds of something, if I try to believe one thing and say something else, you start to break apart. So he is being 100% above board. This is doable, and these are real deals.
Okay. I'm not exactly certain what you mean by 3 of your siblings. I don't have siblings. I got cousins.
Well, you would have then. Well, then this is a double good deal. You get not only the wonderful experience of having grown up with siblings, but a cone of echoes, echoes, echoes.
Oh my god, he's literally having grown up with siblings.
Yes.
Oh my fucking what? Found family is taking on a whole new meaning.
As for happy endings, I mean, how can you have a happy ending when the story's not even halfway through?
Well, that's true. So you won't need to know if you're having a happy... You don't even know if you're getting a happily ever after. You may never find out. Yours may end in tragedy, but if you give it away, just in case it actually does happen, it becomes mine. Mine.
And she's sitting there thinking about this. She was about to ask Bloodburner his thoughts, and then she realized he's probably the worst person to ask. She's like,
Do you look for Bloodburner?
yes. Immediately.
Okay.
Like, she goes to reach for Bloodburner.
You don't feel it.
And she panics.
Your eyes spiral about. It's not here.
She instantly panics. Forgets the cone for now.
Actually, make a intelligence check. Saving throw or check. Either one.
Okay. I think it's the same for me.
Cool.
12.
You say you're about to say fuck the cone when you realize the cone might be able to give you the answer if you ask the people that are on the other side. If any of them came with a blood burner or didn't come with a blood burner.
Ask the people on the other side. So if I grab the cone.
Yeah.
it could tell me where Bloodburner went, supposedly. That's what I'm understanding.
Yeah, you're asking your other selves, the other echoes of yourself.
Would any of us have been close enough to realize she didn't have Big Angry on her back?
You guys all have to. It would have to be wisdom saving throws for you to realize it.
I'm guessing if she didn't notice the weight was missing, none of us would have noticed that the actual thing was missing. Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't stare at her ass on a regular basis, so.
That's fair.
So, what would you like to say, Treasure?
I'll take the 3 siblings
Okay.
in exchange for the cone.
Okay. Wonderful. Done. Now, if you want to use the cone all the time, sort of like a homing beacon, you strap it around your neck like this, give it a little and it'll whoompa. But then when you want to be like, hey, self, boom, it pops up, cone of shame style, and you can't hear him talking anymore.
So
And then you see him kind of reaching, and then he like, and it falls back. There you go.
Okay. She's gonna take the cone, and now she's got 3 siblings she doesn't know about.
There you go.
I look forward to them popping out of the woodwork. If they're not the triplets from Brave, I quit.
Wow. I make no promises.
But tiny tiefling bear children that like that, the monsters, that would be tieflings. That would be Treasure siblings, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you going to ask anything into the cone before we press on?
As opposed to asking, she's gonna, because now that we're figuring out that it interacts as lies. I walked in with Bloodburner. I still have Bloodburner.
So what it is you're actually talking to
Myself.
other echoes of yourself. Yeah. And so the information you get back comes rapid fire because it's untold number of yous answering you. All the versions of you that made it to this point and put on this cone can now talk to each other. What you find out is that in some other realms, you were actually pretty good artificer, and you're actually really smart. And the reason you they don't know what Bloodburner is, none of them, because the reason you don't have it is Bloodburner is unique. There is one of them in the multiverse. There is one great game. There is one Arm of the Fated. Now,
So if I were to leave, I would get Bloodburner back.
when you return, Bloodburner should be back with you.
And as well as 3 siblings.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you talk about the siblings.
Today seems like a night of 13s for me. 13 plus my wisdom, so 14.
Your mind begins to bend and break as they both share their experiences and the ones that you just took on to get the cone. So you snap it off. This is the danger of the cone, is that if you attempt to absorb too much information from the disparate worlds, it can give you madness conditions, essentially. So it is not a well of infinite information. You have to, smaller things are a little easier, but things that mess with your own history and past and things can be very dangerous. I get the feeling we will continue our adventures in the shifting market next week, but I would you guys do find Brenton. You make it towards the back of the market. He has put together a little stall of, and he's got patchwork sort of dragon scales on, and he explains to you that I used to come to this market every month just for well, let's say Chance Felice had some very particular tastes, and I'll say that that journey was a bit easier without, and he lifts his shirt, and his wound is healed, but it definitely healed poorly, and without his luck, I don't suppose you brought any coffee with you.
I think I might still have a little bit left in the flask.
I could use a pick-me-up.
Well, how about we get somewhere a little nice and quiet so we can have a bit of a chat and see if we get you stitched up a little bit too.
Let's see if we can get out of here, because this place, it's fun to visit. It's terrible to live in.
Well, any other business we got to do here, or are we good to?
No.
Everybody's ready to go. You guys begin to make your way out. I'll give you one last opportunity to do anything at the start of next week, but this is where we are going to end for tonight. How is everybody doing? Your characters didn't have major shifts. I think the treasure thing is going to play out humorously, and help inform a little bit of your backstory, I think.
Fable has some shit to deal with now.
I wanted people to be able to touch on different ideas, but I really didn't want to crush anybody or make big character changes and stuff like that.
Or force a character change.
Yeah,
if they weren't,
no. But sometimes it's fun to glimpse through the looking glass. I'm sorry that's happened a lot in the past 2 months. We just kind of hit a portion where a lot of these bits of the world are kind of together, and Fizzban's really helped flesh out some ideas I had for the Prince of Fang and Claw and the Dragon Sight and the Echoes. Like, really codified some of those ideas, and I was rereading what was it, Neverwhere. So there's another place of inspiration if you guys were ever curious. So thank you for whatever the fun pinging thing was.
Thank you for the tip, Tristan. Why?
Oh, you are awesome, Tristan.
Thank you, but why?
Well, my dear friends, thank you so much for being awesome. Thank you for playing with me. I will see you guys next time. We're going to play some Gloomhaven tomorrow night. Should be a good time. We'll be back then, and then we've got Vampire the Masquerade on Friday this week. And then the PvP finale for Season 2 is on Saturday. So stay tuned for all of that. We'll see you guys next time. But until then, be cool.